Hello YouTube, we are back again for another tier list video. This time we'll be ranking the best and worst running backs in the NFL from a number of different categories. And as always, if you like what you see here, give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, all that. And if you think my opinions are invalid, let me know in the comments and we can hash it out there. I don't care what you think of my opinions, just as long as you like the video and all that stuff like that. But here we go. Let's explain the topics. Elite, it's pretty self-explanatory. The best of the best. The very good, those that could be top running back or are very near that. Untold potential are rookies mainly, or guys that are very close to it but haven't realized their potential yet. On a bad team, these are just running backs that are good, that could be good on a really good team, but they're still good on a really bad team. And washed, as always, are running backs that are not good anymore. I don't know why they keep getting run, why people keep giving them chances. They're just not good anymore. Just let them go. But let's start off with one of my favorites, J.K. Dobbins. Very good. He could be an elite. He could be an elite running back for sure. As much as the position has devalued over the last couple of years, he could be there. It's just, can he stay healthy for a full season? The offense is built around running and passing, of course, and he would succeed. He can succeed very well if he can just have a full season. We saw what he did in his rookie season, and I think he can reclaim that again if he can just get past the knee injuries. And who knows if he can do that, but I'm really hoping to for fantasy purposes, of course. And of course, we have Jahmyr Gibbs, who I'm going to put in untold potential. He's a rookie. Yes, he did really good at Alabama last year. Yes, he can probably do really good in the NFL. And with the Lions, he shouldn't be a decent piece. But let's give him some chance to play in the regular season. And of course, the preseason, he can get there for sure. I still think he was a little bit of a grab for the Lions, a little bit of a reach, but maybe he can prove me wrong. And I think he can. It's just a matter of he needs some time to actually play. And we have Aaron Jones. Very good. Can't say he's elite. As much as I love Aaron Jones and think he's a great running back, he's just solid. He's just a solid running back. You know what you're going to get from him every year. You know you're going to get about close to, if not 1,000 yards rushing, and then 400 to 500 yards receiving, which is really good. And he can still do that this year. That team is going to be more running oriented, of course, with Jordan Love, with passing thrown in there. But let's just give him his due. He's a great running back. He took a pay cut to stay with the Packers. He'd rather be with the Packers than some other crap hole team out there. But yeah, Dameon Pierce, I think, is going to be very good. I don't know if I can put him elite. He can definitely be elite if he plays like everybody says he's going to this year. I think he'll be a great piece for the Texans, and with C.J. Stroud there at quarterback, it'll be a massive improvement there. Should be able to get out into the flat and catch passes. He's a good run blocker. He just does what he needs to do at running back, which will open it up for him for a big season for sure. Jonathan Taylor, we'll put him here. I still think he's a very good running back. Last year, we saw what happens when a good running back like himself does not have a team does not have an offensive line to run behind. And he suffered. He was injured most of the year, but we saw in a couple games that he still hasn't. Just a matter of need some decent blocking and a decent team around him, which it probably won't be this year for the Colts. And with the whole issue between him and Jim Irsay, who knows? It might very well be his last year for the Colts, and for the Colts that would be a major disservice. But Jim Irsay, like a lot of owners, just don't see the value in running backs. Jim Irsay would rather pay hundreds of $1,000s to transport a whale across the country than pay his best player on his team. So if that doesn't tell you what the value of running backs is today, I don't know what else will. Next we have Travis Etienne. He can be very good, of course, and with the Jaguars improving last year, I can't wait to see what he can do this year. I think he has all the tools, and the team is only going to get better. And it's probably a low-end number, middle of the road to number 2 running back in fantasy. Probably going to go high. Probably should go in the middle rounds, or maybe 5 round 6 or 7. I would think would be a good place for him. But he's going to have a good year. That team is just going to be good this year. And don't look back. Isaiah Pacheco. I'll put him in untold potential. This is just because what we saw last year was great. He still was a 7th round running back, and he's still going to be on a team that doesn't value running backs. They run the ball when they have to, and they're very successful at it, but the Chiefs are a pass-oriented offense, obviously, and that's not going to change. When Pacheco is out there and they need to run, they'll give him the ball. He'll get the yards you need. He's definitely a middle-tier running back as far as fantasy goes, but probably will be a good later round pickup for sure, because he's just solid. He's just not going to get as many rushes as you would like, just because of the pass-oriented nature of the Chiefs, but he's a good pick for later rounds for sure. And Josh Jacobs will be put in our first elite. He is a great running back, and of course the Raiders are just crap, so he's going to be run a lot despite the nature of the contract. Who knows where he will be next year. If the Raiders lose him, they'll definitely suffer. I mean, they were bad last year even with him. Even with him having a bunch of great games, just a great season overall. Like I said, the running back position has been devalued so much, but he's elite. He can do everything, and there's just not much else to say about him. Austin Eckler, another elite running back. Again, another running back that had a contract situation this year. He got a little bit more money to stay with the Chargers, but I would hate to see what happens to the Chargers if Austin Eckler were to leave. It opens up their offense so much more. He can pass. He can catch. He can run through everything. Hopefully the Chargers will have a somewhat improved offensive line, and he did well even without a very good offensive line. And just imagine what he could be if he was on a team with a good offensive line. He would do amazing. He already does amazing now. You don't expect that to be anything different this year. Probably going to be in the top 2 rounds for sure. And if you get him, don't be disappointed. He'll be great. Cam Akers. Another running back on a bad team. I look for him to bounce back. He's just had a weird couple of years. I mean, I think he still has all the potential in the world. I mean, he seems to have recovered pretty nicely from that Achilles injury. And sure, the Rams aren't going to be very good. I think they'll be a little better than what people think. And he'll probably help that offense out a lot. Hopefully they can block for him, because he's another one of those running backs that we've seen where when the blocking isn't good, he doesn't do very well. But I think their offensive line will be a little bit improved, and he'll be a decent later round addition for sure. Devin Achane, don't know much about him. I know he's really fast. Ran track, of course. But like the Chiefs, the Miami Dolphins don't seem to value running back too much. And they're going to be a pass-oriented offense for sure. But maybe he can break it in there. But of course, there's still Mostert is still there, and Jeff Wilson Jr. is still there. So the options might be slim for him, but maybe he might be a late round pick. But I think he has good potential, and if he were to be given a chance as starting running back, he could probably do some damage. It's just a matter of how much passing oriented the Dolphins will be, and that'll probably be a lot. And next we have Mr. Alexander Madison. I can't remember how I say his name. He can be very good. I think we have yet to see what he can do in a full season. I have a small concern about whether he can maintain his health all through the year and how effective he can be for the Vikings. The Vikings will be a different team, and he was a change of pace back that benefited a lot from Dalvin Cook, and who knows what he'll be as the main guy. Teams will probably focus on him, and who knows how good he'll be. I think he'll still be very good. It's just a matter of how much he can maintain through the full season. And then we have we have James Cook, and man, I don't know, untold potential. I mean, we saw what he could do last year, and he showed he could do something. But again, he's going to be on another team that's very pass-oriented, the Bills. It'd be nice if they could work in the rushing game a little bit, because that would help save Josh Allen a little bit, so he doesn't have to run as much and potentially get killed. But the Bills just don't want to do that. He could be a very good running back if it'll probably be starting running back this year, but who knows how much he'll be used. I'm sure he'll be used a little bit, but if you're expecting him to be a high round pick, I would wait for rounds 8 or 9 to draft him if he's still there. If he goes in like the 5th or 6th round, he went a little high and people reach, because it's just the offense is going to be too pass oriented, and wait in the back for a later round pick for sure. And we have Ramondre Stevenson. I think he can be elite. What he showed last year was no joke. Even as bad as the Patriots offense was, he was a shining star for them. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. Probably be a, I don't know, 2nd or 3rd round pick. I don't know how much people value him. He did really well for me in fantasy last year, and I consider him to be he's going to be a great PPR running back for sure. I mean, he can catch, he can run, he can block decently well. He's going to be out there. Patriots are going to use him a lot, because if the Patriots don't have him, that offense is going to look really, really bad, and are going to need to keep him healthy, because without him, the Patriots are, really terrible. Next, we have Alvin Kamara. He's going to be very good. Can't put him in elite, but he is very good. Sure, he's going to miss the first 3 games of the season this year, but considering the the nature of the footage that he was in, 3 games is a blessing for sure. And the Saints will be happy to have him back, and he'll join up and do very well again like he always does. He's not washed. He still has a couple of years left, probably before you start to see any real decline. That offense is going to be great. He's going to be great as always, and do not feel any regret about picking him early, because when he comes back from his suspension, you'll be glad that you picked him. And we have Mr. Breece Hall. I'll put him in elite, because last year was no joke. Yes, he got injured, but he's a young guy. He'll come back, and he'll be just as good as always. But of course, there won't be caveat. Like I've said before with Aaron Rodgers. When Aaron Rodgers was with the Packers, every week you had, are you going to run the ball? Are you going to run the ball? And I'm going to see a similar situation with that with the Jets. Because it's a Rodgers offense, Hackett's offense that's going there, and the Jets are going to have to change around that. Sure, Breece Hall is going to be used a lot. He's going to be run a lot, but will he be run as much as he was last year? I don't think so. He'll probably try and keep him healthy, and avoid him risking another big injury, but he still, when he's out there, will be great. It's just a matter of how much run he'll get this year as he did last year. I think it's going to be decreased, but still feel comfortable picking him high, because he should be recovered. And if he's not ready for the regular season, he will be ready shortly after, and you'll have a dynamite star for sure. And you have DeAndre Swift. man, we'll put him in untold potential. I mean, we know what he can do. He can do very well. But it's just, he's going to go to the Eagles, who are going to have other running backs. And again, that team is really more pass-oriented. Jalen Hurts is going to run a lot. It's just a matter of, can he stay healthy? Again, he's another one of those running backs that can't seem to stay healthy. When he's healthy, he's good. He's very good running back. But it's just a matter of, can he stay healthy and how that offense works. It's still going to be a very high-powered offense. There's still going to be many chances for him. Just probably not as much as in Detroit. And who knows where you're going to get. And you have Christian McCaffrey, of course. Probably put him right at the top. He's going to be consensus number 1 overall pick or number 2 overall pick. There's just nothing more to say. You know he can run. And it seems his injury issues have passed him by now that he went to the 49ers. It seems that's how it was always going to be. That injury issues would suddenly fall away from him once he went to teams that everybody hates. And he's just going to be great. Like he always is. And yeah. Najee Harris, very good. That offensive line should be a little bit improved. And just imagine what a change from 3.2 yards a carry to like 3.8 to 4.0. It would be a big difference, and it would really help the Steelers a lot. Even just a marginal improvement by that offensive line will help a lot, because he did really well last year, even as bad as the offensive line is, and I think he can do even better if that line gets better. Kenny Walker, we're going to put in very good. We saw what he could do last year. He had a little bit of an injury issue last year. Not too much, kind of small, but we'll see how the rushing yards shake out, because we'll be talking about Zach Charbonnet next, and he's going to be good. He's going to be solid. Great pass catching back. Great running back overall. Pretty good blocker. And they're going to need to run the ball, the Seahawks are, because as much as Geno Smith was good last year, they're going to need to depend on the run and take pressure off of Geno, because I don't think Geno can replicate what he did last year. So the running is going to be very important for the Seahawks, as it is every year. Zach Charbonnet, I'm going to put him in untold potential. He's a rookie. I know everybody is wild and crazy about him, thinking he's going to be good. And I'm sure he's going to do great, but he has had an injury issue so far in camp. I'm sure he'll be ready to go when the regular season turns around, but let's just pump the brakes. Let's see what he can actually do on Sunday. Let's see what he can do in the preseason. I'm sure he'll be good, and that'll be a great two-headed back for the Seattle Seahawks, but let's pump the brakes a little bit. Rachaad White, he's a decent running back on a bad team. I don't think he's the best running back in the world. I mean, he showed what he could do last year, but I think the Buccaneers are going to be really bad, and they're probably going to run him a lot just because Baker is, he's Baker Mayfield, and you never know what you're going to get, but should be a good running back on a bad team. Who knows, his potential will probably be stripped because of that fact, but still be good. Still take him in a later round, probably not a high round pick for sure. But he's a good stash for later on. He'll probably be a starter, so maybe middle round running back he'll be. Yeah, not late round, maybe mid round. 5th, 6th, 7th round, something like that. Miles Sanders should be a good running back in Carolina. Their offense was really good with the run last year, and I don't anticipate that changing this year. It sucks that he wasn't able to stay with the Eagles, but they just didn't want to pay him. But his talent should be used very nicely in Carolina, and he should do really well. Should do something similar to last year. Maybe not fully like that, but he should get over 1,000 yards. 7 or 8 touchdowns, maybe. And should have a good year. Again, Derrick Henry, again, elite. I'm still putting him up there until he has a fully bad year from start to finish. You can't rule out Derrick Henry. I mean, that offense is still a mystery at times, but that offense is going to run through him. As far as Derrick Henry goes, the Tennessee Titans will follow. And he still could probably get another MVP-like season. He's probably got one more of those left in him before his body really starts to break down. But I love Derrick Henry. He's a great back. He's a great runner. He's just one of the best we've seen in the last decade or so. Don't feel any regret picking him early, because he's going to go fast, and you don't want to be the one not holding him and regretting having him when he has another big year. And we have Brian Robinson. He should be very good. Of course, the commies are just a mystery, just with the whole ownership change and with the whole potential of there being a new coaching staff next year. But I like him. We'll see what he can do with a full offseason. I mean, he missed most of the offseason last year after he got shot. So he missed a couple games last year. We've seen what he can do, and he should be a good addition, or another good back for Washington. I like him a lot. Probably mid-round pick for sure, but he'll probably can't be the starter, and don't regret picking him because he should be pretty good. Antonio Gibson will put as his tandem. I just don't know what we're going to get with him. He did well at times last year, had his issues here and there, had his fumbling issues. He's had a case of fumbleitis the past couple of years, but he's a good change of pace back with Brian Robinson being the lead back. Still a decent pass catcher for the most part. Well, actually, they don't throw it to him at all. That was a mistake. He's a good change of pace running back on a probably not so good team. So yeah, he should be good. Who knows? Ezekiel Elliott, I think he's washed. Who knows if any team's going to pick him up. He still hasn't been picked up yet. Probably waiting to see which running backs get injured, but I'm not going to waste any more time on Zeke. I think he's terrible. Let's put Leonard Fournette there too. I think he's washed as well. Who knows where he's going to play this year, if at all. I'm sure someone will pick him at some point, but last year was not great. Even the year before wasn't great overall. He hasn't really done much ever since the Buccaneers won the Super Bowl, and I'm sure that's going to continue that way in the future. Dalvin Cook, I'm going to put him in untold potential. He's not washed. It's just that I don't know why he hasn't been picked up. Probably, again, the devaluing of running backs, but he had 4 straight 1,000-yard rushing yard seasons, and yet he was cut. There's that whole supposed issue of him paying off a woman to say he didn't abuse her. That hasn't been talked about, and maybe that might be why he hasn't been picked up by anybody, but I'm sure he'll find a team. He's still a good running back. I don't know why he's not signed yet. He hasn't shown any, he has had his injuries, of course, but he's had 4 straight 1,000-yard rushing seasons. I mean, I think he could probably have another 1 or 2. It's just a matter of who's going to give him that chance. And we're going to have Khalil Herbert. I'm going to put him in untold potential just because I don't know what he's going to do as a full-time starting running back. Should be good. Bears were top 3 rushing team last year. Probably not going to be any different this year. Should be great as well. Probably going to be splitting the backfield with our next addition, Deontay Foreman, who I'll also put here just because there'll be a 2-headed rushing attack. Should be good together. Probably Herbert's going to be the starter, I would think. I wouldn't think Deontay Foreman would win it out. He's just a solid change of pace back. But I think they're both good. It's just a matter of how they will be used this year and how much better that offensive line will be, because they made some upgrades to their offensive line. It's just a matter of how much it will do this year. Joe Mixon, we're still going to put him in the Hall of Very Good. I mean, he has legal issues, but he just didn't have a great year. I think he can regain his old form. It's just a matter of the blocking scheme. He didn't do very well last year, but I wouldn't be concerned about picking him early in the first couple of rounds. It's just a matter of that he's another one of the on another one of those teams that's going to be very passing oriented. But if they're going to keep Joe Burrow healthy, they're going to need to run a lot to offset the potential of him getting killed every other play. So, yeah, he's still going to be a good running back. It's a matter of, can he retain that old form? Nick Chubb, going to go up right here. Clearly one of the best running backs in the league. Even for as bad of a team as the Browns are, he's still a great running back. Can still block, run, catch, and do everything. He's just a solid running back. He's one of the best out there. And if you get him in I would suggest getting him in the first round, because I don't see him going farther beyond that. Probably, I don't know. He'll probably still be there in at the end of the first round, but I would not let him go any further than that if you have any hopes of getting him. Tony Pollard, I think he's going to be in very good. Let's maneuver some of these around. I think Madison should be down here more. Yeah. Yeah, let's just maneuver around a little bit, but yeah. Tony Pollard, he's going to be a great running back. He should be fully healthy, should be fully recovered, and that offense should be great. Again, just always pump the expectations for the Cowboys. You can never expect them to be the best out there, because they rarely are, and they always seem to fall short. But it's good. We'll finally get to see what he can do as a starting running back. Sure, it might be his last year with the Cowboys, but I like him to be great. He's going to be good. Definitely a second round pick, I would think. Yeah, I think he'll make it a second or third round. Javonte Williams, I'm going to put him in untold potential, just because he's coming back from that injury. I'm sure he'll be back healthy, and the Broncos are going to need him to be healthy and do well, because the Broncos were terrible last year. And if you watch my last video, you'll see that I said that Russell Wilson is not the greatest quarterback in the world, and what you saw last year is what you're going to be seeing in the future. Sorry, Broncos fans, that's just how I feel. But I think he still has all the potential in the world. It's just, can he come back to where he was before he got injured? Because he showed sky-high potential, and it would be a shame if he was not able to reach that. Bijan Robinson, we're going to put him in untold potential. Yes, he's soaring up draft boards. I'm sure someone's going to take him early in your first round, or try and take him early, but let's pump the brakes. I don't think the Falcons are going to be that great. Still questions with their quarterback. I'm sure he'll be a great running back. He's shown all the tools, and running backs don't get drafted in the first round very often anymore, so there must be a reason why the Falcons did, but I still don't agree with why the Falcons picked him so early when they have so many other holes. I'm sure he'll be great. Their rushing attack was great last year, but again, the Falcons already had two great running backs, so I don't know why they needed to add another one. But I'm sure he'll be good. Let's just see what he can do in the regular season. James Conner, good running back on a bad team. I'm sure he'll get his yards, but that team is not going to be good. They're going to be punting a lot. They're going to be on defense a lot, and man, he's just in a bad situation overall. The Cardinals are terrible, but he's still good when he's healthy. And then we have, last but not least, we have Saquon Barkley, who's going to be a great running back as well. I love Saquon Barkley again. Should have similar season last year, but the Giants' expectations are sky high and should be tempered just a little bit. And who knows, it's probably his last year with the Giants, but he should still be good. He should still do what he did last year. It's just a matter of, can the Giants repeat what they did last year? Because as long as he stays healthy, he's going to be great. And that's my list. If you have any issues with the list, make sure to comment below, like, subscribe, everything else. I hope you have a great day, and as always, God bless.